let's try this again. Okay, so I wanted to make a video about who are we? Who are you? Who am I? Who are we? And I took some notes so I can stay on track, keep this short, sweet, cute, to the point. I wanted to make this video because this is something that's been weighing heavy on my mind. Like, who am I? How do I show up in the world? How do I show up not just in the world, but how do I show up to myself, right? I feel like a lot of times we are characters. We are characters and caricatures of like certain personality types, certain personality traits. How would people describe me? People would describe me as like nice, goofy, and things like that, but is that who I am really? Or is that who I try to be to make people feel at ease, comfortable? Is that really who I am? And that's what I'm trying to like digest and figure out, like, who am I really? I think social media and like pop culture has us thinking that we should be this character, right? When we're in our friend group, we each of our friends have this character. Each of our friends are this person, right? But is that truly encompassing of who they are? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. For me, like I said, people will describe me as nice. I think that I'm overly nice. I'm too nice. I try to treat people and make them feel welcomed and feel loved and feel appreciated. Overly so, too much so. I also try to dumb myself down, and people will describe me as goofy. Like, I try to like be goofy and dumb myself down and not to get too deep with people. I try to keep it funny, jokey, ha ha ha, like very surface level. But I'm recognizing that this is almost like a defense mechanism, and I'm kind of sick of it. I don't want to be seen as the overly nice, goofy girl anymore. Like, I am very nice and I am goofy. That is who I am, but that's not all of who I am. I notice when people kind of put you into this box of who they think you are, of who they think your character is, that's just like all you can be, or that's all you are to them, or they kind of dismiss you. You ever been talking to somebody and you just know that they're listening, they're hearing you, but they're not listening to you. It's almost like that when people kind of typecast people into a certain box. I can be a very awkward person because I do spend so much time alone. I can be very awkward. Like, sometimes I don't know what to say or do in social situations, and like I'm coming to the point where it's like I don't really care, and that's just, it is what it is. I am who I am. You accept me. We vibe. We don't, right? But growing up, we're taught to kind of fit in and appease people, and to be in these groups, and to play this character, play your part, play your role, play who you are, play the character, right? And it's like, I'm so sick of that. I'm sick of that. And I just want to make this video just kind of for myself, to remind myself to be who I truly am, authentically, every day. I'm ready to be more serious. And it's like, that begs the question of how does who I've been showing up as, how does that benefit me? It benefits me by people feeling like I'm approachable, people feeling like I'm nice, people feeling like I'm cool. But does that benefit me? Does that bring me respect? People like view me as not a threat. Like, I've always tried to like not be a threat my whole life. I've always tried to be kind of like quiet in the background, in the corner, just don't notice me, let me do my thing. And it's like, that's not who I am. I am a person who wants to teach people, wants to learn from people, wants to connect the dialogue with people, but I just don't know how. So that just, all of this comes together. I'm wrapped in like who I show up to this world as. Who do I show up to myself as? Or who do you show up as? Even to yourself. Like, how would you describe yourself? And it's like, you can even ask other people that you're close to, obviously, or people like, you can ask them what was their first impression of you, or what do they think of you? Because the way we think of ourselves tends to be skewed and one-sided, right? It tends to be very skewed and one-sided. But that also begs the question, like, are we our triggers? Are we our traumas? Is that what we wear on our exterior, right? So knowing self, or knowing ourselves, and then realizing, are we our traumas and our triggers? Are we the fear of abandonment? Like, is that how we live our lives? Are we that? Are we our triggers? Are we putting that face forward? And if so, why? Does that benefit us? Does that help us? Like, who are you truly? Who are we truly? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself, how do you show up, and is that beneficial to you in your life? Like, is how you show up in the world beneficial? And be real, be honest with yourself. And that's kind of where I am, trying to figure out how I show up in this world, and does that help me? Is that getting me to where I want to be in this life? Is that getting me the respect? Is that getting me the friends? Is that me getting me the group that I crave so badly? Is that going to find me the husband that I crave so badly? Being such a nurturing, nice, and forgiving. I'm super forgiving, super just too much so to where it's almost harmful. So am I going to find the husband that I want or need by being that way? I don't think so. And it's just like about time that I recognize, like, how am I showing up in this world? For me, like, there's part fear of abandonment, and then part like having to be overly tough, overly in my masculine energy, overly taking care of everything, taking care of myself, you know, just too much in that. I wanted to make this video because I think it's just so important that we all ask ourselves that question and just be very honest with the answer, with the response, and how we maneuver it. How do you show up in the world? Are you showing up as the damaged child? Are you showing up as the neglected child? Are you showing up as the person who's afraid to be abandoned? Are you showing up as the angry, hurt person that's been, hurt? I also understand that sometimes it's easier just to be the character, just to be the guy who is always there for his friends, just to be the guy who is XYZ, just to be the girl who is XYZ, nurturing, caring, just to be the bitch of the group, just to be the... It's just so easy to be these characters because that's kind of what we see and what we're taught through, TV, media, social media, just this kind of... It's kind of the thing that's perpetuated, just this character, right? To find your character, find your face that you show the world. But then it's like, does that leave room for anything else? Does that leave room for any authenticity? That is just really something that I'm really struggling with. Like, just being an authentic person in this world. Does that get you anywhere? It has to, right? And I'm learning to let go of, like, will it get me anywhere? And I'm learning to just really love myself and love who I am and love the different aspects of my personality every day. I'm learning to forgive myself. I'm learning to forgive my traumas. I'm learning to understand my triggers. I'm just learning more so to understand myself and how I show up in this world. There are times where, yes, I just want to be goofy. Yes, I want to be this, want to be that. But does that benefit me in the long run? Does my coworker see me as a goofy girl, or the girl who's always going to take their shift, or the XYZ? Does that benefit me? So we have to move in we have to move in a light that kind of benefits us, and we have to think and have foresight. Maybe you like to talk a lot. Maybe you're a talker. You talk, you overtalk people, and you don't leave any room for anybody else to talk. That's okay. Recognize that. How does that benefit you? Does it benefit you? Do people not want to be around you now? Do people not want to talk to you? When you talk to people, do they just shut up now? Do they just, just recognize how whoever you are, how does that benefit you and how does that serve you? Are you a judgmental person? And then where does that come from? Are you judging others because you judge yourself harshly? It's just like, there's just so many questions. And I just make this video just to stress, to recognize how you show up in this world and who you are and how it benefits you. Because that's where I am in my journey, and I just feel like other people could benefit from that. Like, at this big old age, at 30 years old, I'm just recognizing the importance of who am I? Truly, who am I? And that's just something I'm going to have to do and work around every day. Like, there are days where you're going to, like, be the worst version of yourself. There are days you're going to be the best version of yourself. There are most days you're just going to be right in the middle. You're going to be the most okay you can be. And that is okay. It's okay to be okay. It's just, you have to recognize and be cognizant of where you are. I just pray that you all are finding your path, aligning with your destiny. Don't be too hard on yourself, but also be intentional and recognize who you are, what you stand for. Recognize your traumas and your triggers. Recognize the good and the bad. Don't be typecast into any character. Fuck that. Be you. Do you. And it's like, I am on this journey of life and discovering myself and trying to find my place in this world, right? And to do that, have to be intentional. So I'm just making this video to share with you, to recognize, who are you? Who are we? Who am I? How do you show up in this world? Is that beneficial to you? Is that beneficial to others? Or are you being too nice? Are you being too mean? Too this, too that? You know, we just have to be more aware and cognizant of who we are. And that's all I have for you. I hope this video was useful. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a great day. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, bye.